us coming together, it's something that has been bubbling in our minds. Though we said the first ever Mbum, it's not. We've had a couple of trials. I remember when I was in Washington about 15 years ago, we came to Atlanta, we tried it, we went back and we did not continue. Our brothers from Senase came here, they went back, nothing happened. But I think everybody now thinks it's time for us to do something. And when I thought of the language, the Bafaw language, getting lost, my kids cannot speak. Even the kids in the village cannot speak. I thought something has to be done. Our culture is dying. Kids don't know a lot of things that our father did. So we started talking among each other, and suddenly we created an e-list where we started communicating among ourselves, and the discussion began. And it's just a matter that everybody is really anxious that we do something for the tribe.
I'd like to dispel the conception that the Bafaw people have not been meeting. As a matter of fact, we have several Bafaw groups in the United States. Here in Atlanta, we have been existing as Bafcuda. In other places, they have different names, Senase, Mwango, and so on. What we're doing here is building capacity. We want to bring all these groups. In fact, we have another group called Mila Mikindi, which is branches of Mikindi. I think, yes, it is a difficult task to bring a group like this together. Other attempts have been made, like my brother Kamadibo has mentioned. What pleases me or what makes me proud is that Atlanta has been the base every time. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 3 years ago, and today, Atlanta. I feel very, very proud. Not only proud, very humble that we have been the hub for Bafaw. We hope to continue to be the hub for Bafaw. But this time, the Bafaw community is one and together forever.
Well, it's been a very difficult task trying to put this together. We have several groups coming up. They're very young. Most of the groups that I know are young, except for groups like Atlanta and Washington DC. Planning this upcoming was very difficult because of the conference calls that had to be taking place, busy schedules. But by God's grace, there were some really, really diligent committee members who honored the call each time. Some of us couldn't make it every time. So I'm proud to be a part of this, and we just appreciate Atlanta for hosting and for being the pioneer, I'll say the mother chapter of Bafaw USA. And we're hoping that from now moving forward, we're going to be one Bafaw in the United States affiliated to our home chapter. For me, it's actually appreciating our culture, our language. I have realized that most of us are shy if we speak the language. Even our kids, sometimes when they hear us pronounce certain words, they're like, what's that? And that is something that we really, really need to work on and make people around us or our children understand that our language is our language and we have to be proud of our language and love it. So many other tribes speak worse than Bafaw, and Bafaw to me is a very sweet language. And putting this group together, I'm hoping that moving forward it's going to help us help our children.
think Bafaw people, both male and females, they are very strong, and because they are very strong, they all stand independently. But because of this, they will try to make an effort for both sides to understand each other and try to work together so that we are able to understand one another and move forward. Sometimes things like this will make us move backwards, but now that we have all recognized our strengths and weaknesses, we hope that we're going to use it for good.
The Bafaw tribe, we are very proud people, but our culture is dwindling because our parents do not speak the language. To us, growing up, I'm not ashamed to tell you that I myself, I don't know the language pretty good, but it's something I would love to know. But my parents never gave me the opportunity to learn the language as it was supposed to have been taught to me. But with this organization that we're putting up together today, I am so overwhelmed in the sense that we're going to try to protect the Bafaw language for our children. We're going to make it open so that our children will be proud to tell their friends that, hey, my father was born from Kumba and he speaks the Bafaw language, and I could also speak the Bafaw language. That's the goal of this organization. Let's keep our culture going.
Yeah, one of the weaknesses that I have found in our culture is what they say in the dialect, Mayanako, which means not respecting somebody's ideas, thoughts. When you know something, nobody comes to you to say, how do you do it? A good example, there is a farmer who just passed, Mr. Bafaw in Kumba. He was a great farmer. Even in Ikelewindi, where I come from, that we call Kindi, there are farmers who don't have, during the year when they produce cocoa, they don't have black, if you know what that means. Because they have a system of how they go to the farm, they clear the farm and went to spray their crops. Now, those who don't know that technique always say they have some kind of witchcraft. They associate to something else. Instead of coming to that person to find out, hey, how are you doing this? So that that person can tell them how it's being done. But what do they say? They say, come on for B, are you the only one who knows? We also have jealousy. We jealous each other. Ngongi. And I am hoping that because we started to come together here in this country, we're going to try as much as we can, work hard to overcome all those problems. And then probably that will rub on some of our people back home. Because we have other projects that we want to do, so they will see that we are serious, we respect each other, there is unity and love.
Yes, thank you very much. I will not go as far as calling it a weakness that much, because every person can always improve. I would call it an improvement in the Bafaw that needs to take place. The first one I want to point out is how to appreciate someone else's opinion without you feeling that that person is an enemy. The fact that you have an opinion or a way of thinking does not mean everybody has to think that way. So if everybody can respect everyone's opinion, not taking them as opposing or being against them, it's going to improve our relationship. Bafaw community very, very well. I think another area of improvement is being very bold. Even in the preparation of this Mbum, in the initial stages, there are some people who felt that this Mbum cannot go because not everyone was on board from the set go at the beginning. So the few who were there at the beginning saw this as a big responsibility. Every time you're going for something which is good, even if you're alone, be bold and be courageous, knowing that a good cause is always going to come to fruition. If we do that, we are always going to be successful.
Okay, I think one of the key things we need to do is to be united. Like they say, mulatako, ndiyo mimba, mulatako, ndiye ningana and all that. I think we need unity because with unity we can achieve a lot. What I would pray for is that as we started like this, we should continue to unite in doing things like the Bafaw people. And once we are united, we'll have that strength that will lead us to do greater things even back home to help our culture develop and to help the young kids who are coming up to pick up that strength and continue with that unity to bring the Bafaw culture alive.
For both Bafaw men and women, we need to humble ourselves to one another because the way we approach each other, it's very wrong. We need to share. If we humble ourselves, it would be easier for us to share information. And if we don't humble ourselves, the information will seem very proud and nobody wants to take it. So we have to throw that pride aside and humble ourselves when we meet each other so we are able to talk and communicate and share and to give and to receive from one another.
Respect is very important. We grew up knowing that when your big or elder brother says something, you like the little one, you can't say anything because you're disrespecting him. What they say is fine. But we've come to realize that ideas, good ideas, don't only come from our seniors. They can also come from our kids. So we must learn how to debate, agree and disagree. And at the same time, respect each other and come to a final conclusion so that that conclusion could be very, very beneficial to ourselves and to our people.
A big area that I would like to see my people, all of us, improve in is the area of sacrifice. Even with this Mbum, it was expected that every Bafaw in the United States would contribute something to realize it. But some people did not, just because they could not attend. The fact that you cannot attend does not does not take away your responsibility as a Bafaw person to ensure that the Bafaw cause goes ahead. So as we forge forward, I like to see everybody contribute, no matter how small or how big, to ensure that our cause goes forward. Not to see that it directly benefits you, but that it benefits the community as a whole. When we do that, I believe that we're going to go places.
So the club.
No, Mrs. Auntie Fesekawa sent some to my wife. She was the one selling them.
I think they went fast. I was lucky.
We took them to Senate.
Yeah.
They just bought them there like crazy.
Yeah, I was lucky we got some from Cameroon.
I went to Cameroon in June and many people, that was half of my load. People were sending some to the
Okay.
The way I relax now.
I've been. Now, so you want the lens smiling.